Oh man, it's the end of January 25th, 2023. Man, it is quarter to midnight, and I just wanted to make sure that I got this done. Trying to flex the hustle muscle, trying to make this habit, and definitely should have gotten it done earlier in the day. I've actually kind of gotten used to filming in the car. I tried to seek out a little better lighting, but I wanted to get this done before trying to do any work. So here we are, deal with the bad lighting. I guess I got to get set up at home for this. It's not like anybody's watching, but I mean, in good faith effort, I need to find a decent spot um, so that I can do it during the day and not be subject to my work schedule. Anyway, Proverbs 25, NIV. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and the smith has material for a vessel. Take away the wicked from the presence of the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not put yourself forward in the king's presence or stand in the place of the great, for it is better to be told, "Come up here," than to be put lower in the presence of a noble. What your eyes have seen, do not hastily bring into court, for what will you do in the end when your neighbor puts you to shame? Argue your case with your neighbor himself, and do not reveal another secret, lest he who hears you bring shame upon you, and your ill repute have no end. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. Like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wise reprover to a listening ear. Like the cold snow of time, in the time of harvest, is a faithful messenger to those who send him. He refreshes the soul of his masters. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of a gift he does not give. With patience a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue will break a bone. If you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you have your fill of it and vomit it. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest he have his fill of you and hate you. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a war club or a sword or a sharp arrow. Trusting in a treacherous man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. Whoever sings songs to a heavy heart is like one who takes off a garment on a cold day and like vinegar on soda. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink, for you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue angry looks. It is better to live in a corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a quarrelsome wife. Like cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. Like a muddied spring or a polluted fountain is a righteous man who gives way before the wicked. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. I like that this passage highlights, the taking away of the dross and the taking away of the wicked. Sometimes, to get to a better and more pure place, you've got to take things away. It's not about adding things, and purity is taking things out. And yeah, I definitely feel that it's better to be humble and to be called like, "Hey man, come on up here, come sit with us," rather than be told like, "Hey dude, we have other people that need to sit here." So try to not be proud, try to be humble. I think it's interesting that there's some passages in here basically about familiarity breeds contempt. It's interesting. We think of it like, oh, always hanging out with our neighbor or hanging out with our bestie. I don't know. I'd be curious to see someone else's take on this. Or is it more like, don't go nagging, don't go bothering, don't go borrowing. Have something to do besides bothering your neighbor seeing what they're doing. That I can see. So, again, sorry for the bad lighting. Gonna go ahead and set this to upload and just call it done for the day. I can't believe it's coming up on a month already. So this is episode 25. Unfortunately, it was not 25 of them every day in that order. We had a big gap, and just trying to stay on the horse. So if anybody hears this, be blessed. And if you do have a take on one of these passages, comment down below. Have a great day.